Good morning everyone. How's everybody doing today? Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, July the 8th. I think it's July the 8th. It's I hope everybody had a good weekend. Um and everybody was able to celebrate with their family. If you are joining me for the first time, my name is Jana Edwards, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Corpus Christi, Texas. And I go live each week, twice a week actually, to do online card classes to show you how to use your stamps, ink, and paper to create. Hi, Claudia. To show you how to use your stamps, ink, and paper to create really cute projects. Today we are going to be working with the Perfectly Pears suite of products. So that's this one right here. My camera's over here. Hold on. Let me try to get it straight. But we're going to be using this project, this stamp set and die, so the bundle today. We're going to be creating two projects. I go live twice a week. I go live on Tuesdays where we create two projects, and then live again on Thursdays where we create two additional projects, all using the same stamp set or bundle. I choose a weekly featured product, and then I create 4 projects throughout the week with that product, and then I also offer the kit for those projects as a free with purchase kit to go. So if you're interested in the kit to go, you just simply place a $50 order in my online store, and I will between now and Sunday, and I will send you the kit for this week's projects in the mail. I don't include any pre-stamped images. Stampin' Up! Will not allow Stampin' Up! Demonstrators to send any pre-stamped images, but I will send you the pre-cut cardstock, the pre-cut designer series paper. If there are any die cuts that I use that aren't part of the bundle, I will send that with you as well with the kit. So I think that's it. I'm going to turn my camera down and we're going to get started this morning. I've got just a few announcements for you and then we'll get started. Okay, so let me get this ready. All right, so hopefully you guys can see me. I'm going to put this up here in the corner so we can chit chat. I hope everybody has their coffee. This morning we are using the, squirrel moment. Let me backtrack for a second. Okay, so right now is registration time for Paper Pumpkin. Okay, Paper Pumpkin is a monthly kit subscription where you receive all of the cardstocks, stamps. If it's a stamping kit, they usually provide a Stampin' Spot, the stamp set. With your first kit, you get a block, so you'll have everything that you need to stamp. It's a subscription. You can do month by month. You can purchase 3 months at a time. You can purchase 6 months at a time, however you would like to do it. But there should be a link in the description of the video for the Paper Pumpkin kit. If there isn't, I'll go back and I'll look at the description of the video once we're finished, and I'll make sure that it's there. But right now, they is registration for this particular kit. It's the Sweeter With You kit, and subscription period ends on the 10th, which is Thursday, I believe. They also offer an add-on for the kit, which is a die set, which is really cute. I was excited about this when I actually bumped up my subscription to 2 boxes this time. Virtual album retreat. If you are a scrapbooker, this is a fantastic offer for you. It's $250 for the kit, but you get all the pre-cut cardstock. Actually, the kits are all cut. Everything for your layouts is cut for you in a nice bag that has it labeled Project 1, Project 2, but you get 24 layouts. That's 2 layouts for every month. I think it breaks down to a little over $10 for each layout, which isn't bad. And I think you get exclusive stamp sets with it, but you get designer series paper, cardstock, everything. But these are the layouts that you'll create with the kit. Registration is the virtual retreat is July 16th through the 18th. So if you want the virtual album retreat, go on and order that now. I am happy to announce that you guys helped me get to 100 subscribers on YouTube, which I'm so excited that I am offering a Celebrate With Me offer to you guys. It's a thank you for your support. So if you place a $65 order between now and the end of this month of July, I'm going to send you a pack of 6x6 designer series paper, a full embellishment, 3 handmade cards, and a class kit to go. It's just everything's a surprise. I'm going to just stick the random paper, handmade cards, everything in a package to you for your $65 order, and I will send that off to you. For my email subscribers, if you're not an email subscriber, please sign up for afternoon coffee. That's great, Claudia. That's great. So if you're an email news subscriber, what I do also as a thank you to everyone who subscribes to my email is I pick one card, and it's usually the fun folds for the week. I try to do 3 simple cards, and then I'm not sure. I don't know. Hold on. Let me Dory, let me look. I think that it is in German. Hold on. Let me grab one of my paper pumpkin kits and I'll tell you. Here we go. I think some of the wording is in German. I know they give us several different languages. Hold on. I'm pulling one out of my box, out of my cabinet here. If you hear something crash, I'm okay. I thought I had one set out. Let's see. This is June's kit. Let me see if they have wording in German. This is what the kit will look like. Let's just open it up. So June's kit, we got a stamp and an ink spot. We'll see if if they gave us any die cuts for wording. I know sometimes they do. So let's see. So all the envelopes, and this was. And once you subscribe, if you like any of the past kits, you can order kit replacements. There has to be. Let me see. Dory, it doesn't say, but I tell you what, I will go online and I will find out, and after we're done, I will leave you a comment. I'll reply to your comment and let you know for sure, because I do know that they offer it in other languages, but I don't know if it's in German. Okay? How about that? I will go and I will check as soon as we're done this morning, and then I'll reply to your comment and let you know for sure. Okay. So, email subscribers, if you subscribe to my email, I send out a PDF every week to you after we're done. I usually send it out either Thursday afternoon or on a Friday. And it's usually the PDF for the one fun fold card. Now, if you place an order and you what am I trying to say? I just lost my train of thought. When you place an order, and if your order is $50 and I send you the kit, you also get a link to a full PDF for all of the cards, plus you have the video to refer back to. That's what I wanted to say. Okay. But I will send out a PDF for the fun fold every week. So this week we have a really cute, it's a double Z fold. This is what your PDF looks like for the class, okay? for the class kit to go. I usually put a picture, all of your measurements and how to cut it, and then step-by-step instructions with a link to refer back to the video. All right, so that's that. Now let me, oh, also, if you have a demonstrator in Germany, or if you are, Stampin' Up's white core cardstock is going to be going on sale. It's going to be 20% off starting tomorrow. So the 9th through the 11th, all of their white core cardstock. So it's colored cardstock that has a white core, and I know I ordered some. Give me just a second. I thought I was prepared this morning, but not as well as I thought I was, I guess. But that's okay. We'll make it. We'll make it. Okay. All right. So I don't have any close at hand, but their white core cardstock is dark on one side and it's a lighter color on the other side. And then when you tear it, or when you you dry emboss with it, you can sand the surface of the color off, and it will that white core will come through. So that's going to be going on sale. All of their colors will be on sale starting tomorrow. It'll be 20% off, and it'll be tomorrow through the 11th. I'm just going to flip my fan on over here. It's a little hot here in South Texas today. Okay, so today we are using the Perfectly Pears. It's the Perfectly Pears Bundle is what we're using, and I want to show you the cards, the designer series paper. So this is the designer series paper. These are the different patterns. So you have a fruit pattern on one side, and then a solid, or like a generic pattern on the other side, but it's so pretty, and I'm having such a great time playing with it. And there's one sheet of the designer series paper that you can just cut out the pears. Like this one was cut from the designer series paper, the leaf and the pear. Isn't that beautiful? And then this is a pear that I stamped with the stamp in the kit. It just looks watercolor. Watercolor is, I love watercolor. I don't know why, I just like the way it looks. I love things that look hand painted, but these are the colors that go with it. It's basic beige, darling duckling, mossy meadow, old olive, petal pink, and secret sea, which is slowly becoming my favorite new color. I think I am a bright person. Yes, yes, that's right. 20% off all the duo paper. Yes, from tomorrow until 7-11. Yes, ma'am, that's correct, Dory. I am a bright person, but I'm finding I'm liking the moody colors lately, probably because it's getting, for us, our craft stores and everything around here are already decorating for fall, so, you know. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Today we're going to create, this is project number 1, and it's very simple. Minimal stamping. The only thing that I did here was I stamped the sentiment on the card. That's it. This is cut with the Everyday Arches dies. This is a Secret Sea arch, and I just cut this out with the designer series paper, and I used our eyelet embossing folder. All right, and I have some of the stuff pre-cut already. So we're going to start with our basic beige card base. Okay, that is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. And then I cut our piece of designer series paper, and I went ahead and cut the arch and our little label. The label came from the Perfectly Pears bundle. So it has, I have them all, they're all out in my bowl still because I've been working with them. But these are the images that the dies cut out. All right, we have a leaf pattern, which is here. these little small flowers cut this out, and then there's this strip right here cuts out all these individual flowers, and then we have the label that cuts out the long label, and then there's a teeny tiny label that cuts out these. And then we have the solid pear, we have a bunch of pears, and then a grouping of flowers. And these 4 images right here, you can cut from the designer series paper, which I was really having fun with that yesterday. Okay, so let me grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm gonna bring it over to the table so we can go ahead and we're gonna emboss. I'm gonna set these pieces aside. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna emboss and die cut these few pieces, and then we'll stamp and we'll get this card put together. Move my Post-it note tape out of the way. All right, so I'm gonna start with a piece of basic beige cardstock. I'm gonna move, let me go out just a little bit so you guys can see me. Thank you. It's the card, Dory, thank you. It is very easy. The card's very simple today. All right, so I need to grab my eyelet embossing folder and my arches. Okay, so I'm using the eyelet embossing folder here. And I'm going to place my piece of basic beige cardstock. I believe this basic beige cardstock is 4 by 5 1/4. No, yes, that's right, 4 by 5 1/4. Wrong. I don't need those 3 plates. I need our other plate. All right. There we go. So just run this through our machine, and you get this really pretty embossed piece of cardstock. All right. Now I'm going to take just a piece of designer series paper. I'm going to grab my number 2 shim and then my number 3 cutting plate. And I'm going to grab one of the everyday arches. So let me make sure I have the right size. I used 2 different sizes. I used the graduating, so I used, I think, this size for the Secret C, which is number 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5 and number 4 going largest to smallest. So the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that right? 5, sorry, number 5 and number 6 going largest to smallest. Yes. Then I just took a strip of the designer series paper and I just chose like a frame. You know, I just chose it inside my frame where I wanted it, what I thought was pretty. And you could do this with so many of the other designs in the designer series paper. I'm just adding a little bit of Post-it note tape to the die so that it won't move on me. And then you just save this piece for something else you could use the other side. So I just saved my scraps. Okay. So there we have all of our die cutting and embossing. I'm going to go ahead and set my machine back over to the side. I'm going to take myself out of view so you guys can see my whole workspace. All right, Is that a good close-up for you? So now we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to do a little bit of stamping and then we'll assemble the card, okay? So I'm going to grab my little stamp that says thank you, and it should already be mounted. So I'm just grabbing the little thank you stamp and my Secret Sea ink. I'm going to open that Secret Sea ink up. And then we'll just stamp the sentiment. I'm going just a little bit off to the right, closer to the right side of the label, because I have my bow that I want to stick over here. But it's a teeny tiny label. I think I measured it out and it's like 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. This is for the inside of the card. And there's a little stamp that has these little dots, and I think they're meant to shade one of the pears, but I'm going to use my Petal Pink ink, and I'm just going to add this to the corner of my cardstock here, just like that. Okay, now we can start putting our card together. I'm going to grab some adhesive and my silicone mat. I'm going to go ahead and put some Stampin' Seal on this. And add this to the inside of our card. Then I'm going to add some to the back of the embossed layer. If you go to my blog, this card should have posted already. It should be up there, and at the end of the blog post there are measurements for the card if you're interested in the measurements for this. All right, now I'm going to use, I used regular adhesive. I'm going to use liquid glue just so I can get a better Thank you, Dory. All right, I am going to just add some liquid glue to the arched panel, the Secret Sea arch panel, because I'm sticking it down. I'm adhering it to an embossed panel, and I want to just make sure that I get a good adhesion, that it sticks well. I'm just going to put it off to the side like that, and now I'm going to add, where did my lid go? It's right there. All right, I am going to grab some Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm just going to add some dimensionals to the back of this panel. I'm using the edges of my dimensionals. I'm going to add it just to the back of this DSP arch. Well, I probably should have done this. Let me pull this up, add this one to the top, and then I'm going to add this to the center. I'm going to take these off and then just layer this off to the side. Cattywampus. It's a word my grandmother used to use a lot. Cattywampus. Okay, so I'll tell you something, Dory. My ancestors came from the US, to the US from Germany. back in, I think it was my great-great-grandfather, I think, came to the US from Germany. So that's, so I've always been interested in the culture too. I would like to go to Germany and to the Czech Republic sometime, but I'm a big fraidy cat. I'm kind of a scaredy cat. We have so many things in Texas to, you know, I mean, we vacation in Texas a lot. My husband and I do. Okay, so I'm gonna grab now this gold twine that I'm using is retired. I looked yesterday and it's not available anymore, but you could use any twine that you want, any twine. I use linen thread on the rest of my on the rest of the cards for this week, but I just thought this really needed a pop of gold. So what I did is I just took the linen thread and I folded it over on itself to make, you know, like 2 strands, and I'm just tying a little bitty bow. Like this. I think this twine was available at Christmas last year, and it was one of my favorites. I stocked up on it too. Okay. I'm glue dot. We'll grab a glue dot and we're going to just put a glue dot on the bottom of our little bow. And we're going to add it right here to the side of the card. Then I'm going to grab some of these are the low profile sparkle dots. I'm just going to add a few of these onto the card front. Just like that. And there's our first card. Okay. I hope you guys like that one. Like I said, it should already be posted over on the blog at stampedaninc.com, and all the measurements are there for that card too. So this is our next card. I'm going to show you how to stamp. This one's a little more involved, so I'm going to have to do some die cutting and stuff too. But I will show you how to color. This pear was stamped and the leaves were stamped, and then the leaves here have been die cut. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you like it. But I love this pattern. This is the designer series paper, the pattern that I used. I just love it. I think it's so pretty. And then here's the back side. Okay. I'm going to grab a drink of coffee real quick. Okay. So this will be our second card. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do our stamping first. So I'm going to take all my prepared stuff out of the... This card will be on the blog tomorrow, and it's already ready to go. It has measurements and everything for you. So I went ahead and I cut my card base. This one is, I need to change. This one is 4¼ by 11 and it's scored at 5½. So this is a portrait card and it opens this way. So we're starting again with a basic beige card base. And then I have a piece of the designer series paper. This is 4 by 4 and this is 1½. Is it 1½? No, 1 3/4 by 4. Okay, and it is just the opposite sides of the card, the designer series paper. This label, I used the mixed labels dies. It came with this set, so this would be a great set too if you wanted to change up your sentiments for this card. But I used the mixed labels dies, and it has all these really cute little dies. So that's what I used for the label. All right, let's go ahead and I'm going to stamp our label, and I used Mossy Meadow for the label. And I may have to, no, I don't think I will. So I'm gonna stamp hello. And again, I'm gonna go off to the right just a little bit because I want the left side of the label to tuck under our pear. So I'm gonna stamp hello right there. I love these teeny tiny stamps. And friend. Okay, just like that. And set this aside, and now, oh, I got ink on my finger. All right, now I'm using my piercing mat. I want to use my piercing mat under my stamp, especially for this, because this, I'm going to use the outline image, and I'm going to use what I call the filler image. This is a 2-step stamping. It should be already posted to my blog. Yes, yes, it should be. The first card should be on my blog at stampedinink.com. The second card this card here will post tomorrow. It's set to post at 7 a.m. tomorrow. This is a filler image for the stamp set, and it's got, it has like fading, like it's not a clear image. So I like to have my piercing mat under my paper when I stamp because it gives me I'll get a good clear image on that. So I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to start with I'm going to grab a sponge dauber because we're going to color some of it, and I probably just got ink all over my fingers again. I'll try not to get this ink on our project. So I'm going to start, I like to start with the filler, with the outline image, because when I stamp the filler image, I'm a little impaired in my vision. I have a prosthetic cornea in my right eye, and my vision is very narrow. It's set to just the center, so I have a hard time seeing. But when I stamp my outline image first, it's easier for me to see where the filler image needs to go. So I just stamped the outline image in Early Espresso. Yes, ma'am. The first card is already on the blog. It sure is. All right, so I'm going to set this aside for a minute. I'm going to grab my Darling Duckling and Calypso Coral ink and open these up. Let me put this up here for you real quick so you can that's my blog. So if you guys want to go check out the blog with the information for the first card that we did and for this card, it's there, okay? All right, I'm going to ink up my filler image with the Darling Duckling ink. Then I'm going to take a sponge dauber and I'm going to dip it in Calypso Coral, and I can see that the shading on this pear is the darker part is over here on this side. So I'm just going to take my Calypso Coral and just kind of go over the pear just a little bit. And then I'm going to stamp it right inside there. And you see how that makes the color different? I love it. Okay. And it's just adding a little bit of ink with a sponge dauber. And of course, your sponge daubers, you can clean them. Stampin' Up's ink is water-based, so you can put them in water and clean them with dish soap, you know, to get everything clean again. So now that we have that done, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do basically the same technique with the stem, but I'm going to use Old Olive. Okay, so I'm going to do Early Espresso to stamp my outline image again. Then I'm going to go with Crumb Cake. I could use Early Espresso for the filler, but I like Crumb Cake. I like the way the Crumb Cake looked when I was playing with it earlier. I'm going to go Crumb Cake and Old Olive. So I'm going to ink it up, the filler image in Crumb Cake, and then I'm going to take my sponge dauber and add it, you know, get a little ink on there, and I'm just going to go and make these leaves a little green. And then stamp that right there inside, just like that. You could also stamp the outline image in watercolor with your inks and your with the blending brushes. I think I did that a little bit. Like, I didn't like how the ink, how it looks so grainy, and I just went over and blended the colors just a little bit. These blender pens have water in them, so you just make sure that you know, just dab them off and get all the color off once you're done with them. Okay, so I need our cutting machine, Stampin' Cut and Emboss. I'm going to throw these stamps up here, and I'm going to use a piece of, I'm going to cut these all at the same time. So I'm going to cut my pears, and I'm also going to cut the leaves from the die set. And I'm going to use a little bit of Post-it note tape to hold these in place. Okay. This is also what I'm using. I'm using this set for my creative kit this month too. And I'll have a kit option and a PDF option for this. And I think I'm going to open up, registration should be open up for this by Wednesday. So if you want information about that, you can sign up for my email newsletter, and I'll send that in my email newsletter, the registration. If you're outside the US, the kits are only available in the US, so if you're outside the US, the PDF option, you get a PDF, full color PDF, and a video tutorial for the cards. So it's an option if you're outside the US. All right, so I'm just going to remove these. And you have this whole sheet left to do extra stamping on, and then this Also, you have a scrap there. So you'll get pieces of, with the class kit to go this week, the free with purchase kit, you'll receive basic white, anything that you need to die cut, you'll receive cardstock for the die cutting as well. Where did my leaves just go? Right here. They're still in the die. All right, I'm gonna use my Take Your Pick tool. Stampin' Up puts little holes on the back of their dies, so that way you can stick your Take Your Pick tool, or if you have Cricut tools, you know, the little hook with the Cricut, I think they call it a weeding tool. You can stick it in those holes and it will poke it out for you so you can pull it out. All right, I'm gonna grab this. We're gonna do something with these leaves, but first I'm gonna take a little dab of liquid glue and I'm gonna put this stem on the back of our pear. With the liquid glue, I heard somebody give a tip the other day. With the liquid glue, if you wait just a little bit for it to dry, it becomes tacky and it won't ooze all over the place. But honestly, it just takes a little bit of the liquid glue. It goes a long way. All right, I'm going to set this up to the side and let it dry. Now, I'm going to take my leaves and I'm going to grab a blending brush. You could also use your, you could use your dauber and just add ink. I'm just going to use this since it already has ink on it. But I used on the card, I actually used a blending brush to just blend color, but this works just as well. So I just added some color to that stem of leaves. You might be able to see it better that way now. There's just a little bit of color and it will dry lighter. So this is what it looks like when it dries. Do you see these leaves right here? Okay. All right, I'm gonna set this aside and let it dry. And then I'm gonna set all of our pieces aside. I'm gonna grab the card base and we're gonna go ahead and get started putting our card front together. So what I did was I just tore, the paper's directional, so I wanna make sure that my pears are hanging down from the tree towards me. I just took the edge of the paper and I just tore off a little bitty edge, tearing towards me so that I would have that white showing. Like so. Now I'm going to take my liquid glue and I'm going to adhere the solid strip down first. The top piece is going to overlap a little bit and I'm using my liquid glue because it gives a little, you have a little bit of wiggle room. So I'm going to make sure I have my edges pretty much uniform, right? Pretty much the same gap around the edge. It's what, 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. Now I'm going to add my glue to the top piece. And I want this to overlap just a little bit. Like this, like so. Okay? And what I did was I built my pear. I cut this here, and then I took like so, and then added this to the top. So I laid it all down. I laid these two down to make sure I had them where I wanted them, and then I used some dimensionals to hold them in place. I want this one under here. So I want it to lay just like this. I'm going to use some dimensionals, and I'm going to put it right over the top just like that so they won't move. Then I did the same thing with the sentiment, and I just put a little adhesive here on the sentiment. I'm trying to make it all one piece so that way I can just put my dimensionals all over all of it and then adhere it down. Okay, now I'm going to add some more dimensionals, and I'm just, like I said, I'm using the rest of my sheet here. I do this right here. And one more right there. I go crazy with dimensionals. I'm going to add just a few to the leaves. I'm going to grab my minis. Hi, Margaret. I'm glad that you're here. Thanks for joining us today. If you guys can hear my neighbor mowing his grass next door, sorry about that. All right, now that I have I have the back almost covered with dimension, we're going to take these backings off and put it up on our card, and then we'll add a bow and a few little embellishments and we'll be done. I have a new, to me, fun fold planned for Thursday. I have my template done, but I don't have my design finished yet. It's a double Z fold. I saw, I think her name is it Joey Hartman, I believe. I was watching her do one of these yesterday, and I thought, oh, this would be so cute for this week's class, for this week's project. So I'll show you what the template looks like when I get done putting this card together, and then that way, if you guys want to see it, you can come back and join me on Thursday. Do I have all of those off of there? I think I missed, nope, yep, I have them all off. Okay, now we're gonna layer this on our card right here on the front, just like so. Okay, it turned out a little different, but that's what the handmade is all about, right? It's supposed to be different. Not everything's the same. I'm gonna move this up this way because it's hanging over my card, my edge. So there we go. Now I'm gonna add a little bow, and we're gonna loop it over. I love to do a double bow. I don't like my bows to be lonely, so I like to give them friends and do a double bow. So I just take my thread and I loop it over to make two, and then just pull it through and tie your bow. Just remember that this end, your looped end, is the end that you're going to snip to make your two tails for your other side. So we're going to just snip that and make the two tails and snip this end, and there you have just a cute little double bow. And then you can always trim your ends once you get it on your card and you get it set up the way that you like it. So we're going to add another glue dot. just like this. And I'm going to add it right here to the bottom, underneath that label, kind of rolling up that glue dot so that it makes a little ball. Okay, and I like the tails the way they are, so I'm going to leave them just like that. All right, now I'm going to work on the inside of the card. Okay, we're going to add a piece of, I think this is 3 3/4 by 5, yes. And I'm going to take our little pears, stamp these. I'm using crumb cake for the outline of this, just like this. And then I'm going to do the filler with my darling duckling. And I'm going to add a little bit of the Calypso coral. And I think I probably still have enough on my little dauber. I'm going to fill that in just like so. Then I'm going to grab my blending brush and I'm going to just add a little bit of green right here in the corner, just like that. We'll add some adhesive. Add it to the inside. Then I'm going to grab our sparkle dots again, and I think I'm going to use the green for this one. Let's go here and here, and then right up here, just like so. Okay, those are our 2 cards for today. I hope that you enjoyed them. Let me grab the other one and I'll bring it out for you. Okay, so these are our 2 cards for today. There's this one and this one, our 2 cards. The first card is up on the blog. The second card will be posted tomorrow. There are measurements and a link back to the video for both cards. Measurements are at the bottom of the blog post. So these are our Tuesday coffee and a card cards, and then on Thursday, come back and join me Thursday at 3 o'clock if you're available, and I will show you how to create this card. This will be project number 3 for the week. Whoops. This will be project number 3, and I will tell you the only thing that I stamped on this card is the sentiment. This is all cut out from the designer series paper. So we'll create this card, and then I will show you how to, let me see, I have it all labeled. This is the fun fold. This is my template, but this will be the fun fold that I will show you how to create on Thursday. So it's going to be a double Z fold, just like so. Okay, so this will be our fun fold. That's my template. This will be the one, if you're an email subscriber, this will be, the fun fold card is the one that I send a PDF for each week. So each week I do three simple technique cards, and then I do 1 fun fold, and the fun fold I create a PDF for and send it out to all my email subscribers. If you purchase, let me get my thoughts straight. Hold on. If you place a $50 order in my online store between now and Sunday of this week, you will get the card kits. I will send you as a thank you the card kit to create all of these cards. So you will get everything pre-cut, the designer series paper, the card bases, the inserts, all of that will be sent to you. The only thing that I don't send is stamped images. As a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, they do not allow us to send pre-stamped images. So if you want your projects to turn out just like mine, you'll need to have the Perfectly Pears bundle. All right? When you get your kit, there's also a full photo measurement step-by-step PDF for all of the cards that is sent with the kit as well. So I hope that you guys will come back and join me on Thursday for our second virtual card class of the week, and I will see you then. If you haven't liked or subscribed my YouTube channel, please do so. I'm trying to reach 200 subscribers now, and I would really appreciate your help with that. If you want to be if you want to keep up with things, I post a lot of things on my Facebook business page also. You can find me, you can search Facebook for Stamped in Ink. You can find me on my blog at stampedinink.com. I am also on Instagram at Stamped in Ink, and I believe all of those social media links are in the description of the video here. So I appreciate everybody being here with me today, and y'all have a great week. I'll see you Thursday, and happy stamping. Bye.